Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. Today, we're going to be diving into the world of Polkadot. We're going to be looking at it from a price point of view, and we're also going to be talking about Polkadot as a blockchain. I'm going to be playing two clips, which were essentially taken from the Polkadot Blockchain Academy with one of the co-founders, or there was two individuals talking, but one of them is a co-founder of Polkadot. And he says some really interesting things about Polkadot being able to facilitate enterprise in response to a question related to CBDCs. And this is what I envision for the future of Polkadot. I think Polkadot is going to be the choice for enterprises to build their own blockchains or parachains on top of them. We're going to be playing that clip. We're also going to be playing another clip talking about Polkadot's model and how it's efficient. I just love this blockchain, guys. I think it is honestly one of, if not my favorite blockchain. And then we're going to talk about it from a price point of view, because I am at the stage now, we made no secrets about it. You know, me and my community, I have a group. There's a link in the description for anybody who wants to check my Patreon out. On the 5th of January, spoke about buying cryptos again, having been out the market for basically all of last year. And you can see the 5th of January is down here. And the price has done very well since then. And actually last night we had a certain altcoin, which I will not mention, that was up 60% by the time I woke up in the morning. I went to bed last night pretty late, around about 1 a.m., 2 a.m., bit of a night owl. And I woke up and it was around about 60% up. So if you want to get on board with this, check the link out in the description. If it's not for you, you can always leave after a month. I also want to show you this awesome tooling called .insights.subwallet.app. This is amazing. For anybody who wants to explore the Polkadot ecosystem, come over and use this. It's a brilliant layout. You can go project by project. You can look at all the individual projects, the subcategories of projects that are built on top of Polkadot, you know, the transactions. It's really fantastic. So we've got a lot to get through. So without further ado, let's do that. I want to start off by playing this clip, and this is a reply to a question about Polkadot potentially being a on-ramp for CBDCs, or a kind of institutional blockchain. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and shut up. I won't play much of this. I'll leave a link to this full video in the description. Well worth a watch and would recommend it. And then we'll get into some of the other juicy segments that we've got for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is kind of an interesting one. Is Polkadot a bridge to a CBDC or CBDC solution? This is something that we talked about a lot in the early days of Polkadot, and we haven't really talked about it that much lately, but sort of the capacity for enterprises to acquire chains on Polkadot. Essentially, because Polkadot is very general over what it considers a parachain or blockchain, it actually does provide the ability for enterprises, and what most enterprises want when they create a blockchain system is to have control over it, either by themselves or by a consortium. I don't think most enterprises are actually very comfortable with the idea of deploying logic into the wild on a public blockchain. So it's kind of, I think, possible for enterprises or central banks or others to create sort of enclaves that they control within the system, and then have those easily communicate with other parts. And what Polkadot would guarantee in that case is that that enclave is obeying the rules of the enclave. So from a general architecture perspective, yes. I mean, in terms of central bank digital currencies, I think that's a field that's still very much being explored even by central banks.
So I don't want to look like I'm overhyping what he said there and saying that central banks have said they're going to build on top of Polkadot, because they haven't. But what I'm saying is it's kind of, its model would allow it. And I think if you look at McDonald's, Tesla, Amazon, all these people that want to build blockchains, or even people that need have smaller businesses and need a smaller scale, Polkadot is actually, I think, going to be their choice. And for this main reason that they have control over their own blockchain, essentially. And we'll go on to the second point, which is about price.
Yeah. I guess I'd only add that, I think what a lot of the CBDCs are looking for is like high quality block space, which I hope we can provide. And I think that, again, knowing the fees ahead of time is, again, for any business is a really big advantage, right? Like, imagine trying to use a stable coin or something like that on a network where one day to the next, the fees triple, right? I think that kind of stuff can bring ease of mind to many enterprises and many other governments who might want to build technologies on top of the stack.
Yeah, certainly if it lowers the time it takes for them to deploy.
Sure.
Yep. Yeah, totally. And this is, we love Polkadot for a reason. We are having a bit of a pullback for the markets, well expected. For anybody who isn't familiar with my channel, we do daily cryptocurrency market updates every day at 1 p.m. UK time, where we look at not just the cryptocurrency market, but the macroeconomic landscape and where the cryptocurrency market finds itself within that. It's valuable beyond words that I can put together right now for you guys as future or already existing cryptocurrency investors to pay attention to what's going on elsewhere. And we try and do that for you every single day. We also have a group where I do that a lot more intimately, in regards to sharing my own portfolio, altcoins that I'm looking at, so on and so forth. We've got lots of unreleased videos on there in regards to interviews, some of which building within the Polkadot ecosystem. So feel free to go and check that out. And then we've got one more, guys, and then I will move on to a little bit of price action because I think Polkadot's broken out. Personally, I'm going to look to buy and continue to buy Polkadot. And I already think this is public information at this point, given how I've expressed my kind of bullishness towards it as a blockchain and certainly from a price point of view. I'm going to look to be buying Polkadot for the long haul at this point because I really do believe in it as a project. But we like to do both on this channel, fundamentals and technicals. Fundamentals, we're believers in blockchain. We're also a trader and investor for a living. And that's kind of what we do.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. And to go a bit more concrete, I mean, imagine...
So this is just, again, talking about Polkadot's superior design in opposition with other blockchains. It's a well thought out blockchain. And the one thing that attracted me to Polkadot was it's different. How many layer ones have we seen, right? And yes, some of them do things differently, but quite a few of them just have gone for the same sort of architectural Ethereum layer one model just with proof of stake. Whereas Polkadot they've gone, we don't want to be a layer one. We want to be the chain that people build layer ones on top of. Understand this and you'll understand the revolutionary nature that Polkadot brings to the table.
If you're doing something like start a restaurant or starting a store, right? And the first thing you do, the first day you open your store, you only have a few things to sell, but immediately you rent out something the size of a department store, right?
Yeah.
And you have all this empty space, but you only have a few customers. And this is clearly an inefficient allocation of your resources. And this is kind of what's happening on ghost chains as well. You have a lot of application chains. Application-specific blockchains is one of the things that's happening. It's kind of a trend within the ecosystem. But for people who are bootstrapping their chain, they're kind of paying for all of these empty blocks. They're minting their tokens. They're paying these tokens to their validators in exchange for empty blocks. And this is not really a good thing for people who are trying to bootstrap a product or application. It doesn't make economic sense. So a lot of what we say with efficient allocation is try to create mechanisms where when you're building a protocol that nobody is getting paid for doing nothing, right? That it's resource efficient and lets people spin up their protocol more efficiently.
Yeah, I'll leave it there. I don't want to play too much of this, so I'm going to leave a link to it in the description. Guys, if you want to get a bit more familiar with the Polkadot ecosystem, please head over to .insight.subwallet.app. I'll leave a link to it in the description. Great tool. I've recently found it. It was posted by one of my Patreon members in our chat. Explore all categories. You can see they really break it down nicely for you. I'll be using this tool personally. You've got projects, you've got wallets, you've got infrastructure, DeFi, social fi, privacy, aggregators, cold wallets, DAOs, whatever it may be. These guys have got it or have it to display, and you can sort of see what's really going on with Polkadot. And Polkadot, I'm going to say it, it's an undiscovered blockchain largely by the masses. Now let's get into a little bit of price action. I was going to go into something else, but I don't want to make this video longer than I think it needs to be. We've already gone on for nearly 9 minutes. I think Polkadot's broken out, and I think it's broken out of something which looks or resembles a falling wedge-like structure. You've certainly broken out of resistance that you've been under now for 439 days. This is significant. And I want to drop down the time frames and tell you how I think things go with Polkadot. Now, we have spoken about basically being at this critical point for all blockchains and Bitcoin itself. We've sort of really been scratching our heads in regards to buying more crypto at this point following our buys at the start of the year. And the reason being is because it's not just Polkadot. Bitcoin itself is at key sort of resistance, and a number of other altcoins. And we're essentially envisioning some sort of a head and shoulders taking place. So it is well within the or well on the cards for Polkadot potentially to pull back to 6.19 or somewhere like that, and maybe it does something like this, or maybe it has a very weak pullback in a kind of Nasdaq-y fashion. You see how the Nasdaq just shot straight through this, had one pullback here, obvious resistance, which is why you're getting a pullback today, by the way, guys. Also, we've got the CPI, which we spoke about in our earlier video, looking for a lot of volatility going into that. But if I am indeed correct, and remember, you've got this spill. By the way, for those people that think they're late to the Polkadot party, it's still 88% down from all-time highs. And I think it's going above and beyond. Just my opinion. Don't take it as financial advice because it's not that. You make your own decisions and you make your own mistakes and you make your own losses or wins, sorry. Hopefully you make your wins. But you can see, you know, I personally think that you're looking at Polkadot at least coming back to your, at least doubling from where it is, probably over not such a long period of time, 3-4 months. That's just my own personal take. If you guys want to find out exactly what it is I'm buying and where, feel free to join my Discord, which you can do through my Patreon. And that's really all I've got for you. I do believe Polkadot's broken out. I think largely this is more than a relief rally. We are still in a bear market, and I do want to highlight that. And we've done lots of analysis on this. You know, looking at Bitcoin, I'll just love you and leave you on this statement. This is a downtrend, i.e. bear market. Bear market's a macro term. All it means is that you've got a concession of lower lows and lower highs. Okay. And if you were in adversary, a bull market is a concession of higher highs and higher lows. So this is still a bear market, by the way, guys. You can see your concession here. However, if you did something like this, you've then broken that bear market structure and you're potentially looking at something far, far greater. You've also got what could be potential reverse head and shoulders, which is what we like to see on a trend end. All I've got for you in this video, guys, if you've enjoyed that content, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment for the algorithm. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. Have a fantastic Thursday, and I'll see you all in the next one.